Welcome to the Cherie Show, coming to you live from the heart of Appalachia, where rivers, mountains, and good friends meet. Now today, Ball Ground's finest is with us, and he is not in fine form. And if you see us going to a break, it's because, achoo! Freddy Brackett, what is going on with you?
Well, I'm sneezing, and I'm blowing, and coughing, and got the nasal drips, got it all. Yeah.
Reckon what you're allergic to?
I don't know.
You were in
Possibly
heat.
you, I don't know.
maybe you were in Alabama in the heat, then you came back to air conditioning. Reckon that had something to do with it?
Could be.
Maybe. Well, that's life. You just deal with it.
Yeah.
You just and he did take a Zyrtec, and we're gonna warn y'all. In about 20 minutes, when he conks out on the table, it will be because he took that little white pill. I take one every night, and it helps me to rest.
You know, I believe the last time that I was on the show, I was sleepy. You know, I didn't.
You were awful sleepy that day.
Yeah. And now I'm wide awake because I did drink a Mountain Dew on the way up here, but
Yeah.
I took a Zyrtec too, so I'll probably be out.
Now, we're up here because we're going to spend this weekend going to events that are giving back to your community. That's what Local TV4 is all about. It is all about being with you, supporting you, talking about you, and inspiring you to do for others. We have some friends, the Young Barker brothers, that you're always encouraging to step above and beyond that little comfort zone, and you always recommend songs for them, and quite often they learn the song. Well, you recommended one, but it got in his head, y'all. It just got in his head, and it was like every time I turned around, this man was singing that song. And he wouldn't sing the whole song, he'd just sing a line or two. And I said, oh my Lord, have mercy. And he
That's
said,
all I knew. As the viewers know, because that's all I do.
one-liner.
Yeah.
You could be on Jay Leno. You could be a one-liner.
Yeah.
But Don Coker said, well, see if you can get him to sing that. And I thought, fat chance, Bubba. I never thought he would sing the whole song. So last Sunday night, you know, these iPhones are really cool things. He's sitting down at the end of the dining room table, and I'm sitting on this end of the dining room table, and he starts singing Catfish John. And man, I jerked that little phone out, and I said, wait a minute. So the iPhone will capture moments. There are probably a lot of things on YouTube that an iPhone caught that you probably didn't want caught. I'm glad I captured this. And then I said, wait just a minute, we've got to start over. And I looked behind him, and there was a beautiful painting by Jack Deloney from Alabama. He is a great artist who depicts the South as it used to be. And there was a cotton field behind Freddy Brackett as he's sitting down at one end of the dining room table and I'm sitting at the other. And I'm going to laugh when I say dining room table. We don't never eat at that table. We don't never. It's got a computer on it. It's got laptop. It's got files. We don't never eat at that table. It's crazy to call it a dining room table, isn't it? But I looked behind him and I said, okay, just a minute. So in my visionary, I get down the picture and I focus on it, and I'm shooting the cotton field as he's singing. It really was cool to hear the whole song.
Yeah.
Now, it is a good song. Won awards, done by, did Dickie Lee write the song?
I believe he did, yeah.
And Johnny Russell sang the song.
Yeah,
and I went out on a limb and I said, well, Freddy Brackett's as good as Johnny Russell ever was. And Don Coker said, prove it. The proof is in the pudding. So Brackett sang this song, and it took Kiwi 2 days to recover this from my phone. My phone didn't want to let it go. Now, I don't know why, but it was very strange.
And what the viewers are going to hear today is only 1.5 times that I've sung it.
Right.
So
That's
remember,
right.
I started it, and you said, let's stop, or maybe
And
I
I got the
stop.
cotton field to go there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, actually, this is the first time I did it. I mean, I had to even get the words off the internet to it because I didn't know
Right.
the words. And,
You knew one-liner. Yeah.
yeah.
Now, I'm trying to think of other songs that you would do well. And I love John Conley, Rose-Colored Glasses.
I
Do you
do
like
too.
that song?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I love Miss Emily's Picture. Now, is that one you know?
Uh,
A little bit?
when you say, is that one you know, meaning what?
Can you
Meaning-
sing that? Have
Well,
you ever
I-
sung that song?
Well, along with John on the radio, yeah.
Okay. See, I like certain artists that you kind of could do their music. It's kind of, a little bit of a melody and a little bit easy going. Not any of that rock stuff. And to be honest with you, you started singing in churches. So it's hard to go from a church to acid rock. That would be a little bit weird.
Well, I'm not an acid rock.
Definitely not. Definitely not.
But when I was in Alabama recently, it's visiting my friend Shirley, she was a singer in her time, and she was telling me about one time she was on stage and forgot the words to Coal Miner's Daughter.
Oh no.
And I said, you know, I'm not good with remembering words, and I have to have words in front of me if I'm going to sing a song, a lot of them, because I don't remember the ones that I remember.
Even though you've sung them for years.
Yeah.
Wow.
The Coal Miner's Daughter, believe me, is not one that I will forget the words. I can tell you every word in it. But you know what? She wrote about 8 more verses to that she's never recorded.
Really?
I'm talking about Loretta Lynn.
Right. And why didn't she? Because I remember her talking about that on an interview, and
Well,
she
it'd
said
make
it
the
had
song
to be cut
too
back.
long,
Yeah.
so she would just have to do a Coal Miner's Daughter, another version with those other
Right.
verses.
Well, now that there's a Broadway musical of Coal Miner's Daughter, maybe they'll incorporate all that in it. That would be neat. Well, you're going to get to hear Catfish John here. Now, the story about Catfish John, is it supposed to be true?
I think so, yeah.
I think it's really neat,
Yeah.
and it's
I
funny.
really don't know this, you know. And until the other day when I printed the words off, you know.
Didn't know the whole thing.
No.
No.
You know.
Well, Dickie Lee is one of those writers. He wrote for many other people. He is a much better writer than he is a singer. But one of the songs that he wrote was one of my very, very favorite as a teenager, and my mother would not allow me to listen to it because it had to do with suicide. And it's called Patches. And Patches was played on the radio for a short period of time, and I can remember hearing it and just, oh my gosh, what a tragedy song, what a trauma, and I went immediately and bought it. It was 97 cents at Grandway in Orlando, and I will never forget that. And then Mama took my record and hid it because I was playing it. And I said, you know, today in music we hear all kinds of things that we probably shouldn't hear and don't want to hear in our homes. But used to, on the radio, they were really, you know, they paid attention to what they were doing. Now, I turn on the radio some mornings coming up here, and oh, holy moly, you can hear any and everything. And I'm going, whoops, and I'll change that channel. But it's a different era in communications, you know, and we see, I think it's the shock factor on television, on national television. We have seen some things that we didn't even discuss in our homes 20 years ago. Very different. So the songs of yesterday that you happen to love, now you love the disco music of the
Some
70s.
of it, yeah.
Can you dance like that? Can you do the John
Well,
Travolta stuff?
I've got the legs for it.
Yes, you do.
I just can't seem to get them to do what John Travolta can do with his legs.
All right, let's challenge you. You can buck dance, can't you?
I can clog.
You can clog, okay.
But I only know the basic step. I don't know all the fancies.
Okay. Well, one day maybe we'll just have you clog for us.
Yeah.
It might clear your head up, I reckon. We went up to Townsend, Tennessee. Do you remember that day and you were clogging when the Barkers were up there playing? Or at Lynchburg, wasn't it? We went to Lynchburg and we were out there with the, what's that thing Ralph and Gail had, fifth wheel camper? Do you remember that? And that's the first time I ever saw you clog.
Me and Regina did.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And Regina is about 4'2", and she took her shoes off and had on her socks. And then she looked at the bottom of her socks and they were tar black, dirty.
Yeah.
But that was a fun day, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The Barker brothers have meant a lot to us in our travels and in our, you know, gaining knowledge about what bluegrass music is, because I wasn't a big fan of bluegrass at all. I liked the 60s rock and roll. That was my thing. I loved old country. I must have had a trauma in my life because I loved Tammy Wynette in Apartment Number 9. I loved Jeannie Seeley, Don't Touch Me. I loved Loretta, Don't Come Home and Drinking, and Saint to a Sinner. I loved all the bad stuff because I probably had a pretty rough beginning. And I think the music relayed to how we were feeling in those days and times. And those days and times, men were kind of, I reckon they were dirty dogs. Because you look at what Loretta wrote about Deuce, she wrote some pretty tough stuff, didn't she?
Well, from what I can hear tell, some of the women wasn't saints or
Maybe not. Do you remember when Kitty Wells came out with It Wasn't God Who Made Honky Tonk Angels?
Well, No, I wasn't around when
He
she
wasn't
come
bored.
out.
He wasn't bored. I was waiting on that.
But yeah, I know the song that you're talking about.
Yeah, that was an era that the women stepped up in country music and became a little gutsy. And her song was in reply to a song, was it Hank Lachlan that did Wild Side of Life?
Hmm.
And then this was her reply to it. And she's telling you guys, now look, we may have done a little stuff,
And
but you caused it.
what's his name did the Great Specklebird? Roy Acuff, is that his name?
Yes.
Ain't that from the same tune
Yes,
or whatever?
yes, yeah. Yeah, that is, it's so weird that I love the old country music, but the new stuff, I am not relating to it. Now, radio, I listen to 107, South 107. I love that station, and I love the little station up in Blue Ridge. I like the older country. So, you know, when I'm going through a town, I'm looking on the dial for that older country. I'll turn on the radio. He can sing every single song along with it. And I'm like, because in your age, you're singing the older songs, most of them. You know most of them.
Well, when you say I know most of them,
One-liners.
It's easy to sing along on the radio with somebody because if you forget the words, it don't matter. You're just the only one that's listening anyway, you know. So, but if you're singing in front of people, you want to get every word that you possibly can down right.
Okay, now you loved a gentleman who passed away, Vern Gosden.
Yes,
Is that
I
right?
did.
Okay.
Yes.
Now tell me about the song you sang up at Hiawassee. Who was it by? The one that it wasn't quite like you wanted it.
Yeah. What's his name? Doug Stone.
Doug Stone. Where is he? What happened to him?
I don't
That's
know.
a name you never hear in country music anymore.
Yeah. He was going good for a while, and he had heart issues, operations and stuff, and he may still be going full force. I don't know, but I
Right.
don't hear much out of him. But his real name is Doug Brooks,
It is.
and he is from somewhere around Warm Springs, Georgia area.
And what's the song you sang?
Maybe not that. No, maybe that's not where he's from, but that's where his mom and dad runs a store down there, I hear, or did.
Okay, what was the name of the song you sang?
Warning labels.
Why could you stand on stage and remember that song, and today to get you through a whole song is just crazy?
Because once upon a time when I was living totally on my own, to where I could just turn the radio and my amp wide open and sing as loud as I wanted to, and I didn't interfere or bother anybody, and I just play that song over and over till I got it to
Do you
sink
learn
in
it?
my head.
Okay. All right. Do you have a mission now? You gonna learn another song? Are you, now that you've done Catfish John, you enjoy doing that? You gonna learn another song?
Well, I ain't learned Catfish John. I've got the words in front of me when I'm doing this.
Yeah, you've learned it. You did a pretty good job.
Well, I only did it one time.
One
I
time.
mean, what they're going to hear today
It's not professional, and we're warning y'all.
was the first time that I had ever.
But I didn't say Kiwi passing out when she was putting it together and doing all that.
And actually, if you'll notice right when the song begins, it kind of cuts off the beginning of it.
My fault. Wrong. Didn't hit the button on time. It's my fault. So that's one of those things that can be fixed in the magic of editing. But yeah, I blew it because I did not hit the button on time. But we're going to go to this song, and it is one that you really enjoy. And we want to do a video right out here on the river because it's so funny. When we walked down to the train trestle the other day, and I said, oh my gosh, this would be a beautiful place for a video. There's so many places in Murphy, North Carolina. I want you to get out and look, because when you're looking today at all the country videos, they choose a split rail fence. They choose a white fence with a barn behind it. Many times they choose scenery that could come right here from Murphy, North Carolina.
Yeah.
And this location, dead perfect.
I believe one of the CDs that the Barker Brothers, one of the first ones they come out with, I believe it's even the one with the dollar store on it.
Right.
The what is it on the
Caboose.
Tell me what I'm trying to say. On their CD, the front of the
Cover.
the cover. Simple as that. See, you know, and
This is our tech. He's blind as our
see why that I have a problem remembering words to songs. I can't even say what I'm trying to say.
Well, we're going to go now to Freddy Brackett doing Catfish John, and I will tell you, hopefully, the Barker Brothers will add this to their show in the near future because it is a song. Don't you think they'll do a great job with it?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
No
So we're going to
asked.
encourage them to do that. And if you see them, I want to ask y'all to do me a favor. If you shop in Dollar General, call Goodlettsville, Tennessee to their corporate headquarters and say, I shop there all the time and we want to hear the dollar store by the Barker Brothers. They were sent a demo of this song. It is perfect for their advertising. And if you're shopping in that store, they say your average shopping time there is 15 minutes. In 15 minutes, if you heard that song 3 times, then heard just background bluegrass music the rest of the time, that thing gets in your head. It gets in your head and stays there.
Well, why does it seem like that I sat out in the car for an hour?
I don't know. Maybe I'm not your normal shopper. That could be it. It's because I'm looking for the chocolate. That's what it is, but I found it. We're going to take a break, and we're going to go to Freddy Brackett. Now, remember, not professional. Done with my iPhone. No editing. Poor Kiwi had to splice, dice, and throw this sucker together, but she finally got it done. Here we go.
Thank you, Kiwi.
Don't be hanging round no Catfish John. Come the morning, I'll always be there, walking in his footsteps in the sweet Delta dawn. Let me dream of another morning and a time so long ago, when the sweet magnolia blossom, cotton fields were white as snow. Catfish John was a river hobo, living by the riverbed. Again back, I still remember I was proud to be his friend. Mama said, don't go near that river, don't be hanging round old Catfish John. Come the morning, I'll always be there, walking in his footsteps in the sweet Delta dawn. Born on a slave in the town of Big Square, traded for a chestnut mare, still he never spoke in anger, though his load was hard to bear. Mama said, don't go near that river, don't be hanging round old Catfish John. Come the morning, I'll always be there, walking in his footsteps in the sweet Delta dawn. Walking in his footsteps in the sweet Delta dawn.
We're back. All right, Brackett,
I hope
you
you
did
enjoyed
it.
that.
You did it. All right, Don Coker, that goes out to you, and it goes out to the Singletons who always support us.
That's
And-
right. I believe that they heard the video and enjoyed it. Didn't
Yeah,
they? Did
yeah.
they comment on it?
Well, y'all will die laughing. I posted it, and then he goes over to visit Shirley in Alabama, and he's like, he doesn't have a computer, he doesn't have any laptop, he doesn't have an iPhone, he has no idea what y'all are saying about the song. And I would send him text and say, well, 22 people liked it, 29 people liked it, 41 people liked it. I think when it got up to 60-something, you felt okay about it. Were you tickled?
Well, I appreciate ever click on the like and all the comments.
And one lady was cute as she could be. She said, is there a love button? And I said no, because she said she absolutely loved it. And I thought that was so precious. So thank you for your comments. You know, Facebook does keep us in touch with you. And every day I try to post something, either humorous or thoughtful or, you know, whatever. And I used to do this thing, I did a thought of the day. And I've got one of those today we're going to talk about. Every single day you can do something for everybody else. I don't care who it is. You can choose something. You thought about taking your grandma on ice cream the other day. It just came to you that she loved that ice cream. She's in the nursing home. We went by. They fixed it for us on ice. We took it down there, and she really, really enjoyed it. Just a little gesture makes such a difference with anybody. And so many times when I've had a down and out day, the phone would ring, and it would be either Linda Kaler or Shirley Singleton or Alicia Bridgman, somebody lifting me. And you don't really know what those little lifts mean unless you've been down.
Yeah.
And we haven't talked about this in a long time, but we are looking. It would be so amazing if a child could come into the life of the Singletons. They lost their only son, and he was 3 years, 9 months old. They would love to adopt another little baby. And it would just be incredible, and what a life that child would have. So if you know of possibly a young lady who isn't prepared to raise a child, or a family who just wasn't ready for this, you know, they would be amazing parents. They would be amazing parents.
Oh,
And I said
sure
adoption
would.
is by choice.
Yeah.
And that is one of those things, you choose to be a parent, and they would be amazing parents. We've looked at a lot of Brady's life, and you think about it. He was 3 years, 9 months old. He saw everything because it was their goal to give him the world in going to zoos, going to, you know, he went to Niagara Falls. You even said something the other night when the guy was walking across Niagara Falls, and you said Brady has seen that, you know, and it's amazing to me what you can give to somebody else with not a whole lot of effort, you know,
Yeah.
just, and as a trip to the zoo.
And they have it on video too.
You go sneeze.
I'm trying to keep from it, actually. So that's why I'm trying to limit what I say, because it seems like it makes it worse when I'm talking.
Oh, Lordy me. Well, this weekend we're going to get to spend some time with the Singletons, and we're going to an event. This is to raise money for Lily Cash. Her mother was killed in the horrific car accident. Shirley Singleton taught this young lady, and she told me, she said, even though she was out of my class years, she would come back to see me. She would stop in to tell me, you know, how her day was going, how her week was going. And she said she really, really touched my life. There are so many people who touch your life, and you never tell them what it meant to you. And I think now it would be wonderful if Shirley could say to this young lady, yeah, I really appreciate you telling me thank you or stopping by, or, you know, because we do make differences in people's lives. And I have some things I'm going to read in a little bit where I went through my emails last night, and I'm going to give y'all my email address. Many of the emails I found are people who have now departed. And it blows my mind. You know, it absolutely blows my mind, because there's so many people. Do you remember when Joanna Sanders was on the show? And then she had a stroke like 2 days later. And I walked into the funeral home, and there is this vivacious, crazy, active woman. She is just so cool. And she passed away. And I'm like, wow. I mean, it just didn't seem real to me. And last night I found a note she had written me. And she was always giving me ideas for shows, and always sharing information she had. She was so positive, and she was such a prayer warrior. And the day we came off the set, we stood in a circle and prayed. And honestly, within 2 days, she had a massive stroke. And then it took her a while, but then it finally took her out of here. And it just blows my mind, because when I think of her, I think alive and vibrant and crazy and doing for others. She's gone. She's gone. So there's so many people that touch our lives, and we possibly don't say thank you when we should. And that's a little warning to you. We're not guaranteed tomorrow. Now, your friend Sylvia lost her son this week.
Yeah.
Who, you know, had no idea anything was wrong. And you just, that instant, he's gone. And I love the idea. I think everybody said that he was a donor, and that is awesome. That is a great way to give back. And a 45-year-old young man in great health. So, you know, it just ended his life there. And it was from a fall. And they're not sure if it was a stroke that caused the fall or a seizure. They're really not sure. But it was one of those things. He was just a working guy. He was a nurse. He was giving back to others every single day. And then his life ended very, very young. So prayers go out to the Halbert family. Good folks. She's a sweet lady, isn't she?
Yes, she is.
She's a sweetheart. So now we had her on the show one day with Marie Scott, and y'all were singing. And Sylvia was funny because she said, "Don't you put that camera on me singing." Okay, we won't. And we did a little bit, but we wouldn't. She wouldn't let us air it, would she?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did that after the show.
She's a sweetheart.
That's almost sounded confusing. It made it sound like she was on the show, but wasn't.
But we didn't, yeah. but she gave back, and the reason y'all had the association you had is you worked together in mental health. And she loved giving back to those clients, too.
Yeah, she did.
Takes a special
She had
person.
a gift.
Definitely. We want to remind y'all, the week of the 4th of July, we won't be here. We will be airing programs. I'm picking some of my favorites, and Bill, you use your own 2 of them, sugar. You're on Monday and Friday, because I just love when the mayor comes to visit. He really is the epitome of what mayors should be. It's all about your town. It's all about being responsible for growth in your city. And nobody has a better mayor than we do. So on Monday and Friday of the week of the 4th of July, and then I think Judge Harry Doss's program is going to be on Wednesday, and then I'll just pick some more programs. I know Billy Ray's going to be part of it, because I'm so fascinated with that man. I'm just like, are you kidding me? He knows so much about history in this area. And we're hoping that as people come to visit over the 4th of July, if possibly they stay in a place that has local TV4, they will learn a little bit about our area by us sharing these things. And you know, it is all about getting people here. If you own a business, remember, put your best foot forward. And I say that all the time, because if somebody comes in your shop and you don't speak to them, you don't talk to them, you don't acknowledge them, odds are they won't come back. And they certainly won't recommend that you go and visit that wonderful establishment. So this, as we face the 4th of July, hopefully the roads will be full. And today, a little bit more traffic than usual. Several motorhomes on the road, yeah. We saw several motorhomes all week long. There was hardly any traffic, and today we saw a little bit more. So maybe people are planning some time. Fuel prices are down. What did you buy it for in Alabama?
I didn't buy any.
Oh, you didn't? I thought at 311 you'd have bought a bunch. You didn't need any?
I left here with a full tank.
Oh, well, I'd have brought some home in jugs, I guess. 311, but it was 305 in Calhoun, Georgia yesterday. And everybody's just hoo-la-la-la-la. Well, I'll hoo-la-la when it gets down to 225. You get it to 225 and I'll get excited.
Shoot, I'm a hoo-la-la, and every time I see it go down
a penny.
any little bit.
Lord, he's funny, y'all. We went to put fuel in the motorhome last night to come up here, because we're doing events all weekend, and so we knew we had to calculate our fuel, and it was so funny. He said, okay, it's this price at Kroger, and it's this price at Quick Trip. What will the difference be? And I said, 40 cents. He said, I'm going to Quick Trip. It's easier to get in and out. So for 40 cents difference, we did get to go to our favorite Quick Trip. It is all about budgeting and doing what you can without giving up living. Don't give up living. You know, you can do a Subway meal, go have a picnic on the creek. You can still do stuff on a budget and enjoy the beauty that is free. Now, the Bridal Falls, how would you tell folks how to get there? Because on a hot day, that's a great visit.
Well, if you're in Murphy like we are today, you go out Old 64 and go to Franklin.
And Old 64 is the windy, curvy, steep one? Is that the one?
Well, that's what you consider it.
Okay.
I don't.
It don't scare him a bit. It scares me to death.
But when you get to Franklin, well, you stay on 64 and then you get on something else. I don't know. An older 64, I guess. I don't know. And go toward Highlands, North Carolina, and you will not miss it. You will see it.
Beautiful. Now, you can't do it in a 40-foot motorhome. I will tell you that. There's no way to do it there.
Well, I could have done it, but
not with me in there. You couldn't.
But it was it would have took a long time because it was curvy and
we'd have to stop traffic, y'all.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
But it's beautiful. But on a hot summer day, it's free. It's absolutely free. And you just go over, take your kids, let them get out and play in the water. It is absolutely beautiful. So plan that trip as the weather gets hotter, and it is getting hotter.
And you can drive your car under one of the falls.
You can, yeah, absolutely. So do that. Well, we have to talk about some things that are happening right around us. McCaysville First Baptist Church always has an annual block party on July the 3rd. It begins at 6 and ends at 8. It is free. It is free. The food is free. The music is free. Face painting is free. Games are free. This is to entice your children to come downtown and get to know the First Baptist Church, a great place to visit. And McCaysville, Georgia is one of our favorite locations. We've spent a lot of time in McCaysville, Georgia. Now, there's going to be a Friday art walk, and that is going to be on July the 6th between 5 and 8 in Murphy. And remember, if you're an artist, if you would like to be involved in this, please call Diane at 760-975-83. And I love this. We have not heard about Brian Rittenberry, and it's making me so nervous. He's our friend that sings A Place to Spend the Night. He went to stage 2.
Yeah.
But we don't know no more. I don't like not knowing the rest of the story.
He's not finished with stage 2 yet.
I don't know, but we want to know. Is he going on in Idol? We hope that he is. He went to Charlotte to audition.
I have confidence. I believe that he
God,
will.
he's awesome, y'all. He is so awesome. But I can't imagine what kind of song he would choose to audition for American Idol because he sings gospel music. So I don't know. I just can't imagine. But he does some great singing. So we hope we'll give you an update on that in the coming weeks. Now, meanwhile, if he doesn't get to go to American Idol, he can come back here and go to Mountain Idol because Mountain Idol auditions are in full swing. The next one is going to be Wednesday, June the 27th at Chevelle's in Murphy, just right over here, just right across the street. We could walk over there if we wanted to.
What is Chevelle's?
It's a restaurant. It's
Okay.
I almost said the word honky tonk. I don't know what it is exactly.
She used to go to them honky tonks.
I
She
did
knows
not.
all about it. I believe you did. I believe you once
Went to
was
see
married.
Loretta Lynn.
I
too.
believe you was once married to a
Man who
honky
sang.
tonker.
That's
Yeah,
right. He
yeah.
did sing in places like that. He sang at Tootsie's in Nashville.
That's
yeah.
right.
All right. Okay. End of Not Living at the Cross. All right. Chevelle's in Murphy, 7 p.m. on June 27th. Y'all, please get involved in this. If you are talented, this is the time to strut your stuff. Now, I used to do all the time a thought for the day. And this is one that I really, really like. When there is great love, there are also miracles. And that happens in everything. You know, you were reading something about a child the other day who is battling cancer, a young child, and the parents are doing a bucket list for a young child. And you actually posted it on our Facebook page. Are you looking at me like you don't remember that?
I don't.
Memory's first thing to go sometimes, but yeah, you did post it. And the parents had a child about 2 years old. And they had a banana split for supper that night because they were trying to do everything they could to get in everything that he could possibly experience in life. Do you honestly not remember that? I'll pull it up on Facebook and remind him.
I remember posting about the lady, the bus monitor.
No, that was another whole story.
Okay.
But anyway, this was last Sunday, and this was a child who was less than 2 years old, and his diagnosis is not great. So his parents are letting him do everything. When there is great love, there are always miracles. They're not giving up on this child. You know, they are doing crazy, crazy fun things with him, and I love the idea that they had a banana split for supper. I wish they'd have called me. Have you ever had an upside-down banana split?
No.
Zesto's in Atlanta used to make them, and I'm telling y'all, when I was like 9 months and a week pregnant with Angela, that was breakfast.
Does it taste different if it's not
Oh
upside
my
down?
gosh, it's good. It's just mushy good. Oh Lord, yes, it's good. But
Well,
when they were talking about they have banana
I
splits
used
for
to didn't
supper.
like banana splits, and I don't know that I would today. I don't know.
Love it, love it, love it. But anyway, they are living life to the fullest because their child's life expectancy doesn't look great. Now, the next one, and I love this one. The person who removes a mountain begins by carrying away small stones. You can't move the whole mountain. You can't change everything immediately, but you can work at it a little bit at a time. And I think that's a good life's lesson because we all have something we want to change. We have an obstacle that's in our way. We have something that could, you know, do differently. And it takes a little bit at a time, kind of chipping away at it. So, now we're going to go to our friends, the Bridgmans. Can't say enough about them. Cannot say enough about them. And next week, y'all get to hear the footage from the Friend Fest. That was a great day. And we have to say thank you to every single person who did that. This weekend, I'm actually going to write thank you notes because everybody stepped up to the plate and gave and gave and gave and gave their whole day. And you're going to get to see some of that music. The Bridgmans were instrumental. Sue Taylor started making the phone calls, and it was everybody said yes. And that was incredible to have 12 people, 12 awesome musicians to show up the same day and offer you music. Travis, thank you very much for putting this together. It was amazing. Now, Sue Taylor, barbecue cook extraordinaire, and Tanya Engel will be offering their barbecue by the whole Boston butt over the holiday. So if you're going to have company coming in for the 4th of July and you just love barbecue, but you don't want to slave over that big hot thing, call them down at Taylor's Barbecue, and the number is 706-633-0167. So there you go. We've got some more music to talk about. Do you know what a hula hoop is?
Yes.
Do you? Did you
Yes.
ever do a hula hoop?
Well, I tried, but I just couldn't get my hips to cooperate with the hula hoop.
Well, we're going to recommend that you get your hula hoop and you head to the Nantahala Outdoor Center this Saturday night at 7 o'clock because Lisa Jacoby and her group, which new name, Playing on Planet, interesting. I don't know, I don't know what that is, except that the planet is our home, and I guess interesting. But when she said bring a hula hoop, I thought, that's really interesting. Those are fun. That is a lot of fun.
I have an interesting question.
Yes, sir. Have I ever done a hula hoop? Yes, I loved them. Last time I did it was 5th grade. Am I going to do it
Wait,
again?
you have a hula hoop?
Just a dollar store salad.
I have got to see this one.
Not on live TV, you won't, big boy. And we got to talk about this. Yesterday, my friend Harry Doss was just so involved in his conversation about his Army career. And I swear to you, I didn't get to see the playback last night because the computer was down. But I was sitting there at home trying to look. I was so mad at my laptop, I could have thrown it out in the swimming pool. But I wanted to see the look on my face when Harry's phone went off, because live TV, what you see is what you get. And I have this feeling I looked like, oh my gosh, I forgot to tell him to turn his cell phone off. But it was very appropriate. I'm glad it wasn't the Air Force song or something that came on, since he was Army. But it is fun to do live television. Sometimes it all works well. Sometimes it goes into total collapse. But I guess that's what makes it interesting.
I find that very amusing when you're out in the public, and you'll hear people's phones ring, and the ringtones that they have, songs, different songs.
Well,
it kind of makes you wonder,
what are they thinking?
what's the purpose? What's the reason behind this song?
Well, I know somebody had one that it rang "Hello Darling" when his wife called, remember? And then I had "We Shall Inherit" by Barry Scott, and I had "Happiest Girl in the Whole USA" for years and years and years.
That makes me think I had a ringtone one time that was a song.
Now, what would I imagine it being?
I don't remember what it was.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
We need to get you some memory pills.
I know.
We'll do that. All right, let's go to the Bridgmans, and I don't know what they're going to play, but I bet you it'll be good. What you reckon?
Oh yeah, anything.
Anything. Here we go. Travis and Alicia.
I'm climbing higher each day along the beautiful way, since Jesus pardoned and cleansed my soul. He gave me sweet peace within, for me a new life began, since He has saved me and made me whole. Oh yes, I'm happy now to say I'm climbing
has no hope? Do I call your name when I'm in pain for the courage I need to cope? Teach me to lean on you, Lord, when the world is going wrong. Teach me to know my weakness. On my knees, you'll make me strong. It's in you I have the power, salvation full and free. You gave your life that I might live. Teach me, Lord, to live for thee. I want to live for you, Lord, an example to the lost, to know your word, to stand for you, no matter what the cost. Teach me, Lord, to be a warrior in a time of compromise. Let others see your strength in me. Teach me, Lord, to touch their lives. Teach me to lean on you, Lord, when the world is going wrong. Teach me to know my weakness. On my knees, you'll make me strong. It's in you I have the power, salvation full and free. You gave your life that I might live. Teach me, Lord, to live for thee. You gave your life that I might live. Teach me, Lord, to live for thee.
All right, we're back now. They've got a program lined up. Do you reckon you could clog on top of this table?
On top of the table?
Yeah.
I don't know that this table can hold me up.
I don't know. Yeah, you might hit the ceiling. We may have to figure
Yeah.
out something else. Yep.
Yeah, could you see me having to hunker down to clog?
Now, not many people know what hunker down means, but you know what I said something on.
Squat down?
I said something on Facebook the other night. My granny used to saucer her coffee. Did your granny ever saucer her coffee?
I've seen somebody do that. Maybe it was my neighbor.
Well,
friend that
Granny
used to-
did, and I said it was so funny because the first time I saw her do it, I said, "What in this world are you doing?"
And slurp.
Slurp, she did.
Lord,
Well, I
that
said
get
so.
on your nerve.
I went to Subway the other day and I said, I had my sandwich and it had sweet onion sauce on it, and somebody put a message on there and they said, "Oh, I just love that stuff." I said, "Me too, I sop my bread in it." And then I thought, oh Lord have mercy, half these people do not know what sopping means. And I thought, well, you sauce your coffee, you sop your bread. Welcome to the South.
You know, we'll be going down the road and you'll be chewing that chewing gum and just popping them bubbles.
That makes them so mad he can die.
So, see that and slurping, you know, God.
It's on your last nerve, don't
And
it?
smacking,
I hate it for you.
smacking that chewing gum.
Well, you know, we have to take care of business, and part of business is talking about our sponsors. Ed Singleton came on board immediately, and I cannot say enough about my Subway sandwich, because yesterday I went to an event for Fannin Regional Hospital, and when the doctor was talking about all the places not to eat and all the things not to do and all this and that, the one place he said he felt safe eating, Subway. So I loved it, and I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, oh gosh, what is that man going to recommend that we eat? Guess what? My sandwich: turkey, spinach, tomatoes, pickles, bell pepper, onions. It is all good for you. Antioxidants out the wazoo, and the sweet onion sauce is fat-free.
And what about the avocado thing?
I'm not an avocado person. I am just not. And that stuff just looks like, I remember changing a baby's diaper that reminded me of avocado, so I'm not into that.
Oh my gosh.
Just not
You are just liable to hear anything on this show.
I just can't.
I believe that could be left unsaid, but I thought that Ed Singleton with Subway was one of your sponsors.
He is, but
Well,
it don't
boy.
mean I have to like avocado. The truth will stand when everything else
That's
fails.
not a good way. That's not a good way to promote. He wants you to.
All right,
he
for
wants
you
to promote
avocado
that
fans, go
avocado.
out there and eat it.
And
but
there is a lot of people out there that
they
like
love
avocado.
it. They do, and God bless you, but I don't. Now, it's like you and sushi. Y'all, if we had a video of the day he put sushi in his mouth, it came out faster than it went in. It was hysterical. There's certain things you shouldn't have to eat, but I'm going to recommend a turkey sandwich because the doctor said heart health, it is good for you. He was very informative. He even said a little bit of dark chocolate's good for you, but he said, and I ask you this quiz, milk, orange juice, Coke, the 3 items. Which item has the most calories?
And I said I figured that either Coke or orange juice would.
Milk, 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 and then orange juice, and then Coke. Believe it or not. Is that not weird? But he said that doesn't mean you drink a Coke. You go to a Diet Coke or water. So.
Well, you know, you grow up and as a kid, your parents say, "Drink your milk. It's good
Right.
for you."
Well, that's what he said. You need the calcium. You do need the calcium.
Well, it's got 2 things in it right off the bat that I don't need.
Cholesterol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Well,
calories.
I love Mayfield skim milk. And last night when I was going through some things, I found something. And Mayfield was a sponsor for a long time on Heart of the Home. And I want to read something because this just blew my mind. Scotty Mayfield came to be on the show, and he was talking about coming to see us, and he wanted to know if I wanted him to bring ice cream or milk or whatever. Scotty Mayfield is now running for a political office in the state of Tennessee, and he is out on the road going door to door. I love this about him because he can do that. You know, he stopped in Copper Hill, Tennessee and visited with people. He didn't have to do that because he can get elected because people know and trust him. But his company, for the first time ever, had some layoffs, and it's because they're like everybody else scaling back. And the lady who sent me this email, it's from Scotty, and then she said if you have any problems, get in touch with Bridget. Bridget had been there 37 years and lost her job. And they just cut backs. And she was my go-to person. Anytime I needed anything on the sponsorship, I went to Bridget. And I said, that's so sad because Mayfield milk is that milk, but I love Mayfield skim milk. I could sit right here and drink a whole gallon of it. I love it. Would you drink skim milk? There's no
Just give
way.
me a glass of water and I'll be done with it.
Well, that's what the doctor said yesterday. But I love that. So we're
I'll
going to...
drink 2%, but it's as low as I'll go.
Well, you know, do what's right, do what feels good for you, but try to eat light, eat fresh, and eat healthy. And Subway's a great way to do it. So now we have to tell you about your money because today, not a good day to talk money. The stock market's doing some little wibble off. Don't you even look at yours. Just be cautious. It is a time just to sit back and relax. If you don't sell, you're not losing. So just hang on to that and just wait just a little bit. But Kuiper Wealth Management, Paul will be back. It is a time, I think things are going to turn around once these fuel prices drop. And I hope so. And I hope he'll have some encouraging news for us. Remember, if you have money you need to invest or you need to just look at your future, when will you be able to retire? Call him at 706-253-7285. And we're going to go to some sponsors that are... very important to us. Fannin Regional came on board and we are tickled to death to have them, and Piedmont Mountainside's on their way and we're going to be tickled to death to have them. We need you to join us as a sponsor. That's part of what makes this happen. We need about 15 more sponsors, so y'all come on down. Right now, let's go to a commercial featuring some nice folks from our area and from the Fannin County area. I think you're going to remember some of these people. Modeling for underwriting this portion of Heart of the Home. Fountain Roofing may be reached by phoning 706-692-6997 or check them out at my website, www.heartofthehomerecipes.com. Fountain Roofing is owned by Lonnie Fountain. Thank you for supporting Heart of the Home. You may reach Lonnie at 706-692-6997.
Bone or joint problems can disrupt your life at any time. Fannin Regional Hospital is here to help you put it back together. Fannin Regional offers experienced orthopedic care and has received a 5-star rating for joint replacement in 2011 and 2012 from Health Grades. So when orthopedic or sports-related injuries get in the way of your life, let the award-winning orthopedic staff at Fannin Regional help you get back in the swing of things.
Grocery Outlet has the brands you'll recognize at prices you'll love. Every item is backed by our 100% satisfaction guarantee. Grocery Outlet sells only USDA inspected meats, the freshest produce, and locally produced eggs from Andrews, North Carolina. We offer great deals and extreme value in frozen foods, lunch meats, and dairy products. New shipments arrive 3 times per week. Freshness comes first at Grocery Outlet, your hometown grocery store.
The Whole Story, Highway 64 West in Murphy, North Carolina, has the largest selection of natural foods and herbs in the tri-state area. The Whole Story is also the birthplace of the hit video series titled Backyard Remedies. Journey through the creeks, fields, and mountains of western North Carolina, North Georgia, and southeast Tennessee, learning native plants and their uses. Come by and visit The Whole Story today, or call them toll-free at 1-866-639-8915. Cold is here, but hottest prices paid on your gold at Murphy Diamond Center. Safe, local, instant pay. Also sell on fine jewelry at discount prices. Engagement rings, wedding bands, estate jewelry, silver and gold now at Murphy Diamond Center. Full selection of Pandora bracelets and beads. Lay away today at the Diamond Center of Murphy between Captain D's and McDonald's.
This is one amazing truffula tree. Can you imagine a place where these grow everywhere? Yes, it's called the forest, a magical place to enjoy with your family.
Ooh.
So discover the forest and explore all the wonder that's there. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Okay, y'all, we got to tell you the events this weekend. Tomorrow in Andrews at noon, check out the Barker Brothers. We will be there. This is a benefit for a 9-month-old child who is fighting cancer. Now, that is something you don't ever want to think about in your lifetime. And then tomorrow evening, we will be up at the event for Lily Cash. And this is going to be a fun time. The Singletons wanted to be there because Shirley did teach the mom who was killed in this crash. And then look around the areas that you're in. I promise you, you will find something you can do that doesn't cost you a red cent and create a memory, because that's what it's all about. You know, I was going through my emails last night and I got so tickled. Becky Burrell sent me an email all the time and she said, how will I ever get anything done because you're now going to 2 hours? For years, I was on 2 hours every day. And everybody would say, how do you feel 2 hours? And I'm like, are you kidding me? The hour has gone so fast that, you know, and then I would have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guests a day. And it was like 2 hours was gone and over with. Do you remember those days?
Yep.
And it's funny because some husbands would stop me in the grocery store and say, my wife watches you 3 times a day. Do you know that's 6 hours of her day? She ain't doing nothing but watching TV. And I said, I'm sorry. But we did 2 hours for a long time and it just flowed. It was easy. But Becky had sent me an email about that and I laughed. She is a wonderful caregiver for her husband who has all kinds of medical issues. And you know, those are the kind of people that sometimes get a little positive lift from something we might say or something funny we might do about ourselves. Now, you said you would give what to see me hula hoop?
I don't know.
You said something a while ago. You said, Lord, what I'd give. I guess we'll wait and see what you give, whether I do it or not. But it is
so
all
hilarious. I probably couldn't.
You could never handle it. We love lifting your spirits. That's what it's all about. Some days he makes really bad fun of me. What do you call my hair? And it's not
Hornet's nest.
Hornet's nest. Hornet's nest. We'll be pulling out in the road and he'll say, I can't see, move that hornet's nest. I used to tease it up a lot more than I do now. And my sister said, I like your hair better, calm down. But I was a teasing freak.
And I dreamed that you, whatever you call it, dyed it again.
Yes. Now, I didn't dye it. I did low lines.
And it was brown, dark brown.
Well, my daddy had jet black hair, and all my life I had jet black hair. So when it got this white silver gray, I was like, I can't do this. So I snuck to the beauty shop, and I had low lights put in it. The first person to see it on the air, his sister, who's a beautician, she walked up to me and she went, low lights? And I said, yes. But I had to calm it down. I'm nearly white-headed now.
But to me, it looks more like it than the other way. Yes, I was telling her she was trying to look younger.
That's what it was.
And I was saying, act your age.
So I'm
Be
back
proud. Be proud of your age.
So I'm back to white hair.
Grandma, I can remember my grandma always saying every year at her birthday, she'd say, well, I'm just thankful I got to see another year.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, I'm thankful I got to see another silver hair. So there you go. You know, we got emails from folks that I'd never met, and this lady, Patricia H. from down in Atlanta, used to watch us on Channel 57 in Atlanta, and then when I came north, she followed us and went with us, and that's what the internet gives. You know, we can be, anybody in the world can watch us today because we are live streaming. You also can watch us at Blue Ridge Mountain EMC, and people are finally picking up on this and understanding it. Blue Ridge Mountain EMC has all kinds of channels, including local TV4, and it means that you can catch us in the morning at 9 o'clock and again at 8 o'clock. Now, if you missed yesterday's program, I'm going to re-air it for you because it was a kicker. It was fun. Having Harry on was a lot of fun. We try to choose something, it might be a deep subject for a little bit, but we got to lift you out of the gutter because a lot of folks are sitting at home sad, depressed, possibly not getting to go anywhere. We want to lift your spirits. This weekend, we want to lift you, put you some gas in your car, and get out and go somewhere and go see somebody. Now, I asked you on the way up here, do you know Karen Cowan from Ball Ground? Because she said, I really enjoy your show. I can tell that you really love your job. Absolutely, I do. She and her husband moved to Ball Ground in 2006. So they're not natives, but we love Ball Ground and Cherie Log, and they love both those little tiny towns, and those are towns that we serve. I love when new folks come in and they turn on the channel and they say, oh, I never saw that before. Well, not everybody knows that we exist, but share what's going on with us with your neighbors. Now, next week, we're going to have Freddy Brackett here, and he's going to sing another song. I'm convinced. I just have to find one he'll like well enough to do it. What do you think it'll be? Can you think of anything you just can't stand not doing? What about Smoky Mountain Memories? Could you record that?
I don't know.
I think we should try that.
I don't know.
Y'all send us a vote to our email.
I'm going to say something to make all the viewers laugh.
What?
Believe it or not, and you've heard this, and you say, you swear up and down it's not me.
What? Oh, y'all. Okay, go ahead.
But when I was a teenager, me being a Loretta Lynn fan like I was, even though the song does not kind of fit my gender or whatever, I recorded Coal Miner's Daughter.
Yeah, no, that's funny. That's funny. I don't care who you are.
But I was telling that teenager I didn't care. You know, I love the song, and
So you sung it.
Oh,
All
yeah.
right. Well, it's time to do something we don't do, and we want to remind you, from Cherokee County, Georgia to Cherokee County, North Carolina, get out and learn a little bit about the areas that we absolutely love. We are coming to you live from local TV4 in Murphy, North Carolina. It doesn't get any better than this. Now, by next week, we hope that scent outside where I think a little critter may have passed away and we've had a service for it, but it'll be okay next week. We want you to get out and walk these river roads and look at what you have to enjoy. It doesn't cost you a dime. We hope to see you again. Travel safely this weekend, and we'll see you on Monday as always at 9 o'clock right here from local TV4. I'm Cherie.
And I'm Freddy Brackett from, guess where?
Ball
You
Ground,
got it,
Georgia.
Ball Ground.
See you again only on the Cherie Show.